Hello everybody and a warm welcome back. This is a different kind of video. I'm making this for posterity's sake. This, because you know somebody's going to type something. Like when I'm actually able to show you this aircraft and it's got the whole VNAV working and everything like that. This is the Flight Factor 777-200ER in the United livery. That is the city of Miami in the background. And we're here at Miami International Airport at Concourse D. I think we're at gate D23. I have done nothing yet other than get the ground power hooked up in that. I haven't contacted ground or anything. The reason why I'm doing this is because I know once the aircraft gets released and I make a video with it full, you know, I'm going to give my thoughts on what I think of the aircraft. You know, and I can tell you right now, just based on what's here, it's going to be a favorable opinion of it. People are going to say, oh yeah, sure, now he loves it. You know, back when he was in the Alpha, and I've been in the Alpha since 2.0.9, if I recall. As you see, it's going through its startup sequences and all that. It's been doing this for a couple of minutes. You know, he was probably cursing and swearing and oohing, you know, and freaking moaning and bitching and complaining when it had none of the VNAV working and you couldn't import flight plan directly and the perf in it. There was no CP DLC, you know, kind of thing. Well, guess what, Sunshine? TLDR. I love this aircraft. I love it doesn't have VNAV. And that I actually have to program all the parameters into the FMC myself. I'm not missing it. It made me have to go back and read some old notes and things like that of what I used to do back in the FS9 days with some aircraft. You know, the procedures that, you know, I would have to do, the math calculation formulas, taking in account, you know, the weather conditions, the temperature, the wind speed direction to plan my top of descent and all that, and taking into consideration any restrictions along the way and all that. I'm absolutely loving it. Now, I have this aircraft set up that it sets up with just the ground power units on the ground, but they're not connected, and then I connect them. And everything else is done in real time. So what I'm going to do, this is about a 2-hour flight. We're going to Raleigh-Durham, by the way. I'm going to start the clock now. If it's less than an hour and 10 minutes or so, how many people am I going to have in this flight, actually? Going to Raleigh-Durham. Not a full aircraft. 292 souls on board. Got just over 7 tons of cargo. With 35 tons of payload. 18 tons of fuel. So, yeah, 18. I've already got the fuel. That's left over from my last flight, so that is good. I don't have to do a thing. I may throw another 200 or 300 kilograms in there for when I want to be running the APU and for taxi. So I'm going to start getting this aircraft set up. First thing I'm going to do, I am going to get my flight plan data from Simbri. This does not transfer into here in any way, shape, form. It's just giving me my numbers for my EFB. And there we go. And we'll go back to the menu. And simulation. What did I want? Simulation. Ground operations. Connect via gate. I haven't contacted ground yet. I'm just letting you see part of the setup here.
Good day. How do you hear?
Good to hear you, sir. The ground personnel is at your service.
Excellent. We will connect via gate. And then I want to go back to the airplane menu. You're not going to have to watch all this, trust me. Weight and balance, I want to fill this from SimBrief, and there you go. You can see the fuel and all that stuff. Then I go to the loading page. I'm going to go to ground services.
We require some equipment.
Make your choice.
Passenger gate.
Affirmative.
There were stairs there. I had them remove them. So there I showed you part of the stuff. All of this works. Believe it or not, even at this point and time, all of it works. We got full fuel on board. That'll be perfectly fine. So just check the lavatories, make sure I don't need water. Those take a while to bring. They're going to connect anyway, so I probably will have them empty them while I get the fuel trucks. And he's not responding because I'm doing it through here. Normally, you can do it through here if you wish. Anyway, so let's start the clock. I cheated there a little bit. So add 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Here we go. We'll see. 2-hour flight, give or take, 205 is what they're saying. I expect it to be more like 4 hours by the time we're parked at the gate and shut down. Glad to have you on board. And welcome back, everyone. I thought I'd just let you have a listen to the sounds on that. The pushback truck has connected to us. I had them do that when I asked them to remove all the ground equipment, so now I'm going to ask them to push us back.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go. And bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Actually, at Miami, I don't think you're allowed to right at the gate.
Much appreciated.
That's just the captain saying goodbye to the I wonder why the purser's not available. That's interesting. For the oil pressure to rise. I love how the whole the glare shield starts to shake. Still think they come online too quick. But these GE engines do spool up pretty, like they've got really powerful motors for the starting. So I you know, not being a on the line pilot, Well, being a real world pilot, I don't know for a fact. Get that pack on. Looking for 14, 15 up here. Oil temp is in the green. Oil pressure is rising. And that seems good enough. Start 2. And because I know somebody will ask, even in the Alpha, yes, this opens. Why you would want to, I don't know if you've ever been on the ramp at a airport in real life. It is loud as all get out. Like, I don't know why you would want it open. You can't hear yourself think.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
PA is in use, but I don't hear it. It's because I cut the purser off. Okay, and now we will get the electrics on. Window heat's on. I use better pushback. You don't have to. This, you can actually drive the pushback truck and be in the driver's seat of the pushback truck and push your own aircraft back if you want to. I tried it once and I snapped the front nose gear because I went in too quick and we would get
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
It's a big honking pin. I can tell you that much. We'll wait to make sure they are clear. And they are. Now we can get these on. He's holding his hand up, so he wouldn't be doing that unless he's got really bad body odor. I'm just going to get that to TARA now. We'll arm the auto throttle. And here we go. We are taking off 26 left. Why is that off again? I can't seem to get my, well, okay. I can't tell them to get ready for takeoff. I'll leave it on there anyway. The aircraft will kind of taxi by itself, if you will. You don't need to actually hit the throttles at all. Doors are on auto, passenger signs are on, auto brake is set to RTO.
Clear left.
Clear right.
We are doing flaps 5. I just wanted you to hear the engine startup sounds. I still think, like I said, I still think they're a tad loud. Not loud, sorry. Short. But I think that with all freaking aircraft. All add-ons. It's like way too short. There is no way in heck those things spin up that quick. They're huge. My understanding is at other times there will be Trents available, aka Rolls-Royce, my favorites, and Pratt & Whitney's as well. But at this point in time, there is only the GE option, which is the one that seems to be the most popular, so I don't fault them for that. We are on, I should give you some background. Active Sky is running because XEnviro doesn't support 12.1.0 beta 6 of XPlane 12. It runs, but it has anomalies. So I'm not using it. I'm using Active Sky because I also own that. I am not using hybrid mode. There's an issue right now in 12.1 of XPlane with the weather server. The barrow keeps shifting even when you're at a flight level, and you end up with getting the plane oscillating now and then, like every 2-3 minutes. So I've just opted to turn that off. It does save you some bandwidth because it'll just use the default weather. Once you get above around 10,000, you can determine when the XPlane normal live weather takes over, and Active Sky just does the depiction of whatever it determines. XPlane itself. Absolutely beautiful aircraft. Like I said, TLDR, just so nobody can
Clear left, clear right.
say it's like, yeah, he loves it now that it's got all the VNAV and the CPDLC and you can talk to the company and all that kind of stuff. No, I love it right now as it is. Parking brake on. Ropes. Everything up top is on. Recall check.
Captain, this won't work without the mic.
Well, I don't know why I can't do that. I did, so I pressed something I shouldn't have. She was doing her cabin announcement. I was trying to do my pre-flight briefing with my first officer, which you can do, which I did. And then she was doing her sort of briefing thing, and I switched to ground because it's like I want you to get rid of, like, remove all ground equipment, get the hatches closed so we can pressurize. And I asked her to arm the doors so we could pressurize, which she did. I've never heard from her again. So no coffee for me.
Approaching 2-6 left.
This has its own XRAS, if you will, built in.
Clear left, clear right.
On runway 26 left.
Not bad. Not great. I'll let you listen to the sounds of the aircraft. I'm just going to get it on because I want to go outside. Sim Heaven X World America is in use. Again, Active Sky is in use. And Auto Ortho is also in use. Auto Ortho version is 0.7.2. XPlane version is 12.1.0 beta 6. And of course, the version of the Flight Factor 777-200ER is the Alpha 2.0.10. And hour and 5 minutes before gear up. That went a lot quicker because I didn't have to service the lavatories. And I already had the fuel I required. Because I was doing a flight in Vietnam, I think it was. And my alternate was quite a ways away, so I took way extra fuel. Because the weather was really not great, and I was fighting winds a lot. So it carried over the fuel I had from the previous flight. I'll get these down now. But you heard those bad boys going. Once I spooled them up for the takeoff, they sound... This aircraft may possibly have the best engine sounds. And they're default I have ever heard in a Payware add-on. You know, I don't care if BSS or Mango or someone comes out with a sound pack. I won't be buying it. I think the engine sounds are excellent. I really like them. I just think the engines spool up too quick, but like I said, I'm not a 777 pilot. I'm not even a real world pilot. So I don't know. Maybe these GE engines actually, they do spool up fairly quickly. This is a default livery. It comes with the aircraft itself. I like how it's got the stretch marks. Oh, what a sight. Oh, yeah. Aircraft like this always just look so, you know, I'll be honest, the 787 looks even better when it's doing a turn like that. But I got a soft spot for the 787. I hope Flight Factor makes the 787, and I hope I get invited into the Alpha like I did this one. Because the 787 I absolutely adore. And that's coming from somebody that's an Airbus guy. But the wide body Boeing aircraft are really, really growing on me. And the 737, I owned it even in Microsoft. I owned a 737 from PMDG. So that, or like the Zebo and XPlane, it's kind of a no-brainer. Those are just really versatile, useful aircraft to have. You know, you can do almost anything with them. We have an altitude restriction. It is, no we don't. It's because I still have the flaps down. See, I get outside and this is what happens, right? .280 should be a good climb rate, I think. Landing lights off. Pack lights off. I really don't know what happened to the purser. I get them on this one? No. That one? Well, I can make the call that we're up. And there you can see our loads. This took half an hour to load. I swear they bring this stuff in one bag of Doritos at a time. Anti-ice on this aircraft is automatic. It detects it, it will turn on the anti-ice. I'll see either WAI or EAI on here. WAI, if you ever see it, like even in the Zebo, it means wing anti-ice is on. EAI is engine anti-ice. Just serves as a little reminder to you. Actually, you see it up here. You've got the anti-ice on. So I'm going to continue our flight up to Raleigh-Durham. Our alternate is Charlotte. But Raleigh looks fine. We got like literally no winds. We're landing 2-3 left, which is right on the borderline for this aircraft. It's only 7,500 feet long, so I'll be using auto brake 3 and the reversers. Because you know me, I tend to float, and even then I plunk it on the runway, so yeah. Anyways, if you're enjoying this, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, select all. That way you get to see my community posts as well as when I make new videos or I reply to comments. Your comment at least. And of course, if you click show more, you'll find links to everything I'm using down below, including my computer specs, my Discord channel, which is free to join. And if you'd like to help support the channel, keep the lights on, so to speak, making new content for you, acquiring new aircraft like getting this one, when I had the opportunity offered to me, if I wanted to have it, that's all because of viewer donations. Otherwise, I would never have been able to afford this aircraft. Right now, it is $80 when it goes into full beta, which is when you'll actually get to see this. It'll be $100. I'm expecting $140 when it's in full release. Maybe $129.99 is what I'm thinking. It's going to be over $100. I can almost guarantee you. The level of immersion in this thing, even, you know, with everything that is modeled, and it's just, it's off the charts, like what you can do. You know, simulation, like some of these things are not configured yet. You know, where did I want to go? Pilot utilities. I've got speed conversions, very handy if you are in China. You know, you got length and everything, temperature conversions, volume, pressure conversions. In case you don't, you know, I mean, you can just switch this to inches or to QNH. I mean, time zone tools. You know, you've got a stopwatch and all that. Simplified loading, it just does it all for you. All the documentation is in here. The manual, the cockpit guide, the FCOM, all of it. You've got a ton of pages available for you to read. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and then you can integrate your Navigraph chats at one point, calculate your performance numbers. Video will allow you to view the different cameras, including the cabin rest area, entrance, cockpit cam. It will not have a taxi cam because 777s typically do not have a taxi cam. That's a 787 thing. 7.6 or 7.5 may have one, I don't know. But anyways, I will bring you back when I'm planning my top of descent. Well, I've already planned it. I'm going to be going down, and let's see if I can land this thing, shall we? Thanks for flying along with me. Hey everyone, thanks for joining back, and welcome back. We're approaching top of descent. I have set a waypoint that I want to be at 6,000 feet. It is for an approach fix, lining me up with the ILS. It's not a science. I'm not a real world pilot, okay? In the hands of a pilot like me, this is not VATSIM certifiable at all. With no working VNAV, you know, most of us would have, you know, I'm a casual simmer. I don't like study everything in great depth and detail and everything. I just love flying, having fun, flying to places in the world I've never been. God Auto Ortho needs an update. I know he's working on it, I've been told. So we're going to initiate flight level change. I'll be using probably a combination of the speed brake and such. Now, I'm not going to actually fly this approach properly like you would have to on VATSIM. There are multiple step downs on this arrival. By the way, we are doing the Mr. 2 arrival via the petal transition on the Star. So there are multiple things that you would have to take into consideration. I'm not gifted enough. Like this waypoint here, I'm supposed to be at flight level 210. I am not going to probably meet that necessarily. But I tried to plan it out the best I could with my limited skills. Hence, I do not take this on VATSIM. I'd be getting screamed at constantly. In the hands of somebody like Flight Deck to Sim? See Real World? I don't remember. But like Black Box 711. He's an on-the-line 787 pilot. He could take this on VATSIM and fly it. He knows how to make all the different calculations like this right. That is beyond my purview of knowledge. So I'm just going to do it the best of my ability and show you that even without working VNAV, this aircraft is fine to fly. And this is not an unusual descent rate for a 777 or a 787 of 3,000 feet or so a minute. And of course, Active Sky just like doing it, so I don't know. We will see. Gonna have an interesting landing. I have technically, going by the operating procedures and that stuff, from what I've managed to glean from the FCOM and the SOP and that, I only have about 1,200 feet of leeway to play with, so I've got to kind of nail the marks. So it will be a late autopilot disconnect for me. Not going to meet 21, but what I might do, slow us down to say 275 and get the speed brake out. That'll help us to maintain that descent. So I'm off by about 6,000 feet on that restriction. And then the next one is at 11,000. So I don't have the speed brake out full or anything. I don't want it diving too harsh. Just letting it do its thing. Should zoom out a bit so I get my banana. And I can pull it out somewhat. Because the waypoint I want is right there. But I've got a downwind that I need to take into account as well. Because I'm going here, but then I'm going out this way. And it's typically a vectored approach to final. You make an extended downwind, and you get vectored back in. To grab the localizer and ILS. So I'm, you know, doing the best I can with this. Like I said, do not take it on that sim. The weather has been, to say sporadic would be an understatement. It's been all over the place. Active Sky really needs an update. It hasn't been updated in almost 6 months. This sim has changed so much in 6 months. It's not even funny. Like, they are so slow. I could use XEnviro, but you get quite often visual anomalies. Like if there's a low ceiling, there'll be literally clouds on the ground. If there's clouds reported at 500 feet, they'll actually be covering the airport, literally, almost. It's kind of weird. I've kind of judged it okay. That's not bad. Eventually I want to be there at 5,000. For that, but I can extend that out. I've set 6,000 because there's a waypoint along here. I think if I say, yeah, you see we lose them all, right? There's a waypoint along here that's got a hard 6,000. To lose 1,000 feet, that's nothing. I can easily just slow the speed down, throw a bit of speed brake out, extend the downwind a few nautical miles, and start vectoring myself in. Runway heading will be 234. Still haven't found my purser. I think I left her back in Miami. And she's not complaining. South Beach in June. A lot of fun. And this being a little early is fine because the waypoint is before where I want to actually make my turn. So that's fine. The weather has been a serious mixed bag. And the altimeter now is 3000. So we will change that. Well, sync both sides. Standard. Back to true. I can't ask the purser to prepare the cabin for landing. So just everybody did. You know, well, you should have your seatbelts on anytime I'm flying anyway. So, like, you should just never remove them, as long as you're anywheres on the aircraft. What is that error message? Barrow set disagree. I could have swore I clicked the hotspot. Got a 7-knot crosswind. Joy of joys. Broken at 9,000. At least I'll be able to see the runway. We'll get below this weather. It's been a real freaking mixed bag, man, the weather. It's been something. Now, I'd put you outside, but take a look at the beautiful flight deck. It's really well modded. Yes, these do open. Real life, the manuals and all that'll be there. I want someone to make me a mod so I have, like, sake and cigars and such like that in there. Obviously not gonna need these. Those go back a little quick, but that's fine. We can get rid of the coffee cups. They go back in that bag, by the way. And if I was to scroll over there, you would actually see the coffee cup in that bag. That's the kind of, like, immersion that's in this aircraft. It's incredible. And I would like you guys up somewhere. There we go. And that's fine. Already picked up the ILS. We're still coming down nicely. What is that waypoint for 6,000? The one we're supposed to be coming up on. What's the speed? 210. So we're well behind. Like I said, folks, my skill level when it comes to this kind of stuff, not the highest. You know, watch Blue Games or XP72.
Attention all aircraft. Altimeter 2998.
Yeah, well, that's not what my sim says, so. Hopefully we break out of this somewhat. I'm trying to get us down for that restriction. So above 7,000 at Jodis, which is fine. That's the one we're going to right now. And Churm is 6,000. We might make it. I might have, okay, I might have judged it all right. If I'd have slowed us down a bit earlier, that would have helped, that's for sure. We will get the landing lights on. Passenger signs are on. I can't do a PA call. Yeah, this stuff it doesn't work. You say destination. You think it's going to be like approaching our destination or we've arrived at our destination. No, it's not. It's called we're going to an alternate destination. Do not panic. This is normal. Like I said, the weather is all over. So churn is 6,000. I might just make it, actually. It'll be a tough one, but I might. And then I get to do the whole downwind at 6,000 feet. We already have the localizer. And this is the missed approach. That's why you're seeing overlapping. And we made it perfectly. Sometimes I even stun myself. So my math was fairly accurate. I was just late on pulling the speed back. So I had to go pretty hard on the speed brake. But otherwise, I judged that fairly well, considering my limited skill set. So because of this runway, we are doing auto brake auto. Which is basically max. Because we've got a 7,500 foot runway. That is barely long enough for the minimum for this aircraft. We're doing a full flaps landing. VAP will be 135. And now, since I do have some level flight ahead, I will slow us down a bit. Because I have nothing to, like I don't have to worry about speed brakes or anything. I can just let nature and friction slow us down, air pressure, if you will. That was the waypoint I set, and for that one I want 5,000. And now I want to bring this up. And we can erase the fixes now. Don't need those. What the heck was it I wanted? Oh, the legs page. And I am going to get down to 5,000. Let's switch the chart up now. And I'm going to put my ILS approach chart in. I find these aircraft overturn. No, 5,000 is fine. And flight level change. So I'm going to limit it to about 20 degrees. And here we go. what would that heading be? Well, I'll just do the whole. We'll do you, and we'll go to here, and I'll let the aircraft do it. Lord knows it flies the plane better than I do. Although I hope I demonstrated not having LNAV or VNAV. It's just a matter of doing some math and paying attention to your instruments. That is one thing this aircraft has gotten me to really do, is constantly scanning all my, and the pages and everything else like that. And I need to arm the speed brake. Speed brake is armed. And I'll just continue down. 190 is fine. We're going to have a 20-mile final as it is. So let's just go to, let's just go to do one. Execute. And to do on 5,000, and then I want to go down to 3. And I can begin that now. Ah, what a gorgeous aircraft, man. I love it. And I love how this has got a worn, like you can tell this aircraft has miles on it. I love that. Sim Heaven is in use, Auto Ortho is in use, Active Sky is in use. Let's lock to the localizer. And we're coming down nicely. We can leave it at this speed because we do have 21 miles to go. So I can't remember the last time I landed at Raleigh-Durham. I did a flight a month ago or so where I flew to Charlotte. I also did a flight a few days after, well, not a few days, about, well, yeah, a few, like 4 days after my eye surgery, in the Zebo into Louis Armstrong, Nolens International. From Vertical Sim. Andrew does great work. Him and Mr. X. People often comment about, when it comes to Mr. X, they're commenting about his freeware airports. You should see his payware airports. If you think the freeware ones are impressive, haha. Mr. X's payware ones are spectacular. I also see there's now a payware version of Orbix released for Detroit. That is the freeware one I've showcased on the channel before. Because they said they had a small developer making it. So basically the small developer took a payday, which is perfectly fine. They deserved it. It was a payware quality freaking mod. I'm just going to leave it at 190. So the speed brakes are armed. Auto brake is at max. I've never had to use this high a setting But I've also never landed on a runway this short. Not that like for the Zebo, 7,500 is perfectly fine. Unless you're highly, like very overweight. Like if you had to do a like comeback, but you're right just below maximum landing weight, then 7,500, you know, and you're loaded with fuel and passengers and all the food and all that, that could, you know, obviously pose an issue. When I start seeing this coming down, I will start bringing this down. And now it is. We will go to 170 and we'll get it flaps 1 in. And then go to immediately to flaps 5. Approach activated. The aircraft can land. It can do an auto land. Do you want to see an auto land? How about we do that? I'll show you auto land. Not that it's required for this. But even without fully functional VNAV and weather radar and all that stuff, okay, I love this aircraft. I can't stop flying this thing. Hence, by the time you see this, I anticipate there will be a whole big wide swath of weeks where there's no videos on my channel. Because I can't stop flying this, but at this point in time I'm not allowed to show you it. Which is really annoying. Like you can't even show pictures. 160 flaps 15. Gear down. Outside because they look so pretty coming down. And you get the engine spooling up as they really start to cut into the wind. It's awesome.
1,000.
135. Flaps 20. Flaps 25. I got behind because I wanted to show you outside. Flaps 30. Fully configured. Way over speed. Two white, two red on profile. Land 3 is activated.
Approaching minimums.
Okay, here we go. Get ready on them reversers and hit them throttle, son. 400. $300. Do I need to intervene here? Because I don't have a lot of runway to mess with.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, half.
Reverse green. Disarmed. Reverse is disarmed. Welcome to Raleigh, Durham. Now, where am I? No, I just want to roll out to the end, actually. Autopilot off. Flight directors off. There we go. Did I blow a tire? Don't think so. And here we go. So as you saw, it didn't land center. So definitely there, it could use some work. And we're going to go straight across the sort of little bridge thing here, whatever it is. And then I'll get inside once we get onto this thing. There we go. There we go. TA only. There was a couple of times where it was really sketch. Because I couldn't see what was in the clouds, because this doesn't have weather radar at this time. It's amazing how much you rely on weather radar until you don't have it. And I paid a price. Man, we got thrown around like a rag doll. But the plane compensated. You know, maybe not a rag doll, but, you know, like it wasn't comfortable for the passengers, put it that way. And if I'd have seen, if it had had working weather radar, obviously I would have diverted. And here we go. So, I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes look at alpha testing an aircraft.
Approaching 5 left.
No, I'm not. So it does, like I said, it does have its own RAS system, which is kind of cool. And it does have visual callouts. I've got a headset on. I couldn't hear if it's got audible callouts. Like, I heard 1,000. But can you get a 777 into Raleigh-Durham? Yeah, you can. It's probably going to take you maximum auto brake, but you can do it. And I have no idea where the heck we're going to park this. I think they probably normally park at a ramp spot. I'm not entirely sure they have gates capable of an aircraft like this. It's more the wingspan. I mean, they might, but I mean, I'm not familiar with the airport. I usually don't fly in North America. Actually, I don't fly in any part of this hemisphere. Or this side of the planet, even. I'm always in Asia, Eurasia, Indochina, you know, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, you know, Myanmar, Dubai, Morocco.
Clear left, clear right.
You know, this kind of stuff I don't normally fly. I'm always in the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. Oh, I'm not going to get it in there. Auto bleed is on. Let me check if the APU is actually running. It is. Get those hydraulics off. Establish connection with the ground crew.
This is the captain. How do you hear?
Good to hear you, sir. The ground personnel is at your service.
Awesome, thank you. Loading service. Let's get, first of all, let's get some
We are
chocks.
in need of some equipment.
Which, sir?
Shocks.
On it, sir.
Excellent, thank you, sir. And we'll wait for those to become active, and then we get the APU off. Anyways, you're not going to have to watch this because I've got to unload this aircraft. I've got to service it, check the oil levels. Oh, well, actually, I can check that in the engine page. We're at 11. That's fine still. So that's good. I hope you enjoyed this flight, everyone. I know I did. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't show you any of this when it was actually taking place. But I just wanted to record for posterity. I love this aircraft. It was perfectly flyable. You saw it. Even with even auto land and everything working. And I still managed to kind of follow. Yeah, they've got to work on that thing. The fuel trucks fall from the sky too. With tens of thousands of liters of fuel in them. Yeah, they got to figure that one out, let me tell you. I think there's a way to turn that off and they just appear. Type thing. No VNAV. I managed to get to at least a couple of the constraints right on target. On speed. Maybe a little bit over, not exact. But I'm not taking this on VATSIM. I love this aircraft as it is. I can see myself, even when VNAV and the whole ACARS kind of system is all integrated, that you can call in your perf in it and all that, and you don't have to program I will still do it manually. I've really enjoyed it. It's what got me interested in flight simming in the first place. Way back in Microsoft Flight Simulator for Windows 95, trying to figure out aircraft. I had no idea. The thing just kept beeping at me, and I had no idea what was beeping, and I wish it would shut up. Of course, it was a marker heading into Meigs Field back then in the day. And this needle kept pointing and swinging kind of thing, and it's like, of course, it had an NDB or a VOR tuned, and I should have flown it. But I didn't know anything about aircraft in that regard. And I muddled my way through, and I've flown every simulator that there is other than DCS World, including Microsoft Combat Flight Simulator, which was freaking awesome at the time. It really was. Anyway, folks, my name's David. It's been my pleasure to take you on this parts of this journey from Miami International up here to Raleigh, Durham. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave us a like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. Make sure you select all so you get notified when my videos go live. I reply to your comments, or I make a community post. Click show more. You'll find out most all of the things that I used for this video. as well as a link to my Discord, how you can help support the channel so we can keep the lights on, if you will, and making new content for you. And you'll also find my computer specs down below as well. Until the next time, stay safe, be kind to one another, keep the blue side up, and I will see you in the skies. Take care, everyone. God bless. Thanks for watching.